All right, we are now recording.
All right, perfect. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Mayor Manager meeting for Wednesday, December 10th. Online with me is Deputy City Clerk Andrina Prado, Mayor Pro Tem Joe Anderson, Deputy City Manager Tim Dodd, and Deputy City Attorney Victoria McDermott. And I see Executive Assistant Krista Gravy just joined as well. All right, Tim, do you want to kick us off?
Sure, thank you, Mayor. So our next meeting is a regular meeting next Monday on the 15th of December. We have a study session first. It's the annual holiday council dinner. And then we go into recognitions after that, starting at 7. So we have an introduction of Seth Brown, our new Affordable Housing Program Manager, and then we're also recognizing South Platte Renew for receiving the 2025 WEF Safety Award. And then we go into the consent calendar, and we have a resolution that's on consent for appointing independent administrative hearing officers. We have another item that's not on consent for the adoption of Arapahoe County Hazard Mitigation Plan. We then have a resolution on consent for approving amendment to the city attorney's contract. We then have one not on consent for a resolution prohibiting the use of gray water and installation of gray water treatment works at the city. And then we have a question, Mayor, on the 2026 bulk chemical purchase for the Allen Water Treatment Plant. There's a question of whether that should be
No.
consent.
I was going to say no on that one. There's quite an increase in cost due to inflation, so council should be aware of it.
Okay. Great, we'll keep that off consent. And then the next one is on consent, resolution approving like a second amendment to the city attorney's contract. And then not on consent is a resolution approving an amendment number 1 to the city manager employment agreement. And then the next item is a water resources support contract, which is on consent. Great, so we can go to the next page. Thank you. Then we have a motion to approve 2026 BERT shuttle services contract with MV Transit, not on consent. On consent, we have a third amendment to the Dry Gulch intergovernmental agreement. On consent, we have a fourth amendment to the South Englewood Basin agreement. Then on consent, we have Council Bill 49, acceptance of a state grant from the Victims Crime Act, CB 64, South Platte Renew, CDPHE PFAS grant, and intergovernmental agreement for that. CB 65, South Platte Renew farm lease renewal agreements. And then we do have I think it's under City Manager's report, information and direction, a quick check-in with council on the 2026 council calendar. And then we have the discussion of the District 1 council member vacancy.
Perfect. I got no further questions. It's a long night, though. Oh, actually, I do have one question. Did we extend an invitation to both member Nooncamp and member Wright for the council dinner?
Krista, do you know if that was done?
I have not.
Okay. I did ask that both of them get extended invitations.
Okay, we can do that today. Thanks, Mayor. Sorry for that. All right, and then I think Andrina, did you have a question for the mayor about the District 1 council member vacancy, where that should go?
Yes, I did just want to confirm if we do want that to be under mayor's choice or if we wanted to move it further up in the night into underneath appointments, proclamations. I don't think we had a definitive idea of where it was going to go.
We normally done it under mayor's choice.
I think the last time we had an appointment, it was a different scenario. It was done under appointments, proclamations, recognitions, but that's because it was choosing the person who was going to take the vacancy, and then that same night they started on council. So this situation's a little different.
Well, wouldn't the situation be the same though if we were to appoint someone earlier on? They would be seated immediately, right?
The idea was going to be to have the discussion on the 15th to see who would be chosen for that vacancy seat. And then the January 5th meeting is where they would be sworn in, and then they would take their seat on council.
Joe, do you have a preference on this? Does that make sense? Go ahead.
I think it makes sense to do it during Mayor's Choice and have them start in January. Give them a little time to get used to the idea and get onboarded.
I think the last time we did it a little bit more quickly was because the vacancy needed to be filled more immediate.
Right. Can you scroll back up on the agenda? I'm just wondering, I almost wonder if we should just have that conversation at the beginning of the night. Just because of the interest in it, and my preference would almost be to have it earlier in the evening under proclamations.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine too. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, let's just try to keep it consistent regardless of whether it is more immediate, with it just having just yeah, I just the interest in this, I think it probably would be better to have it earlier in the evening.
okay, we can schedule it for earlier in the evening. Do we have any concerns of like the time frame that it would take for the discussion?
Well, I guess the issue there though is then public comment moves
A little bit later.
later. Now that I'm thinking through all of this, is it possible for us to have it under, not necessarily under proclamation, but under after consent agenda?
After the consent agenda? That
Well,
could be an option.
Well, let's take a look here. How many things are off of consent right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are a couple items that are going to be off of consent.
Yeah, the majority of items are on consent. It is just the 4 that are not on consent. But if we don't want to mess too much with public comment, it could work to do it after the consent agenda items.
Yeah, let's do it. I say let's do it under consent agenda. I don't think that should be under Mayor's Choice, even though the time is probably about the same. If that makes sense, Andrina.
Yep, that makes sense. I can update that then.
Are you good with that, Joe?
Fine with it. I don't know if there's any problems with, because I know our policy manual, I think, has something about the agenda in it. And
Yeah,
I
it
don't know
does.
that would normally fit under, because I think after consent, don't we have public hearings and then ordinances, resolution, and motions? I guess this
Well,
would fall into the
yeah.
category of we could do it as a resolution, I think.
I think you do it as a motion. That would work as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we're saying we would do it under a motion, but after consent agenda and before the other items that are going to be under item 11 or item 12, whatever it happens to be. Is that what we're saying? Andrina?
That's my understanding. It'd be
Okay.
kind of similar to how we do our public hearings where it is usually before items that are not on consent.
Okay.
It would just be a different topic that I can put in there on the agenda.
Okay, as long as it just follows our policy. All right, cool.
All right. Great. So we can go down then to the next night, Andrina.
That we're in January.
Yeah, already in January. So we have a study session to discuss conservation overlay on January 6th, which is, or sorry, 5th, excuse me. And then we have the October 2025 monthly financials, the standard 5 minutes and 5 minutes. That's when we'll also be doing the council liaison selection for boards and commissions. Mayor, for some of these, do we want to wait until next week to set
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
It would be best.
Great, sounds good. And then we have designation of the official posting place for legal notices. Temporary construction easement for Old Hamden Complete Streets Project. 2026 budget supplemental 1. Resolution setting the 2026 City Council holiday meeting schedule. So it's a follow-up from the discussion on the 15th. Drainage improvement project agreement for Broken T. flock safety MOU with the Denver Police Department, IGA with Littleton for chip seal and Windermere. And that's it right now for the 5th. And then the 12th, right now we have board and commission interviews on both the 12th and the 13th in place of a study session night and a Tuesday if needed. And then we go on to the 20th. And so we have the city manager emergency declaration authority, utility annual survey results, resolution appointing council liaisons for boards and commissions, CB 18 municipal code cleanup, title 2 boards and commissions, ordinance amending municipal code to increase theft jurisdictional limit in municipal court, SIPA grant acceptance, attorney-client privilege executive session for legal updates, and that is the 20th of January. And then as a reminder, we have the retreat on the 23rd, that evening of the Friday, and then all day on the 24th, the Saturday.
Okay. All right. That looks it. I think we can stop there. All right. Tim, do you have any, well, no council requests this week. Anything else from members of staff?
Not for me.
I was gonna bring up, we have council holiday dinner scheduled on the 15th, and I was checking to see if there was any concern of like the start time for council dinner. I know right now it's scheduled from 5 to 6:30, which would then leave us with starting the regular meeting at 7. I'm not sure if like that time frame is still fine for council dinner, or if there's any reason to push it up at 5:30. So then council's back here by 7.
No, I'm fine with that time. Joe, are
From
you
5
good with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
from 5 to 6:30 then?
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. I figured that gives everyone time to get back.
sounds good.
All right, that's it from me.
All right, perfect. All right, everyone. Well, actually, Mayor Pro Tem, do you have anything else?
Nope.
Almost forgot you there. All right. With that, everyone, that concludes today's mayor manager meeting. Everyone have a great day.
Great, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everyone.
you.
You too, thank you.